Well, hello and welcome to Raider HQ After Dark, the I Have a Cold edition. And I keep coughing and sneezing and stuffy achy, stay in your bed medicine. Well, hello all, and thank you for showing up to my um, live stream retirement party. I'm not sure how long this is going to be. Okay. Um, I kind of wanted to just take a little bit of time and let you guys know like what's going to be happening moving forward. And I am at the log cabin, yes. I am actually sitting in front of the log cabin right now. It's kind of fun. No, I'm just taking care of a sick family member currently, and, you know, it is what it is, unfortunately. Especially with my agoraphobia, my anxiety's all over the place from not being at my house currently. So, better living through chemistry, as they say. But, um yeah, so what does life after retirement look like for Raider HQ? And I think what it's gonna look like is I'm still gonna be like, the channel's still gonna keep its same focus of giving free information to veterans, educational information to veterans, which if you saw my video on that, that was just hilarious. You know, it still bothers me. I don't understand what people do. But hey, GC Jarhead, how's it going? One of the things that I am going to be doing is I am going to be consulting in terms of education to providers who fill out deep private DBQs. I am doing that. That's something that I've told you guys since day one that I wanted to do. Whenever I, thank you, GC Jarhead. Whenever I do actually get a contract with somebody to provide them education about how to fill out the DBQs in such a way that they have the highest likelihood of successfully being accepted, I'll put a list of those providers out. So that way, if you guys want to use them, I'm not going to promote that constantly. It's not going to be incessant or anything like that. But it will be something that I will let you know about in case you want to use them. Because I personally, hold on, I personally don't feel comfortable endorsing any kind of private providers if I don't have a hand in ensuring that they're doing it right. So it's kind of a personal thing. So that's why, uh, and 88 berries, that's why I don't say yes or no to that question, is because I don't have a hand in making sure that they put out what quality product they're putting out. So because of that, I've seen where some YouTubers that have partnerships with private providers, because they don't know what the company's putting out. The company could be putting out garbage, but that YouTuber is tethered to that company. So whether or not the company is good or bad actually influences the YouTuber. And that's what my reluctance to actually kind of accredit people. Hold on just a second again. This coughing is killing me. But yeah, so that's why I don't actually endorse people unless, I can help them with some kind of training program of some kind. But other than that, what are some of the things that I'm looking to try to do? I'm looking to try to become accredited, if that's a thing, and then see if I can become an accredited agent. I think I've tried reaching out to VSOs with little to no success in even contacting them. It seems as though the VSOs are like, they think that they're doing the right thing, which is cool. I mean, they can think that. But I've reached out to a few local places and they don't care. Like I've reached out with my real name and I said, like, "Hey, look, I want to help." And they don't want any help. So I think that's going to be a dead end for me, because part of my thing is I want to continue to give back to the veteran community, and to do that, um to do that, I'm gonna have to do something. So, I think what's gonna happen is I think I'm gonna try to become an accredited claims agent and try to help veterans that way. I think that it would be beneficial because could you guys imagine if I had access to your STRs and I had access to your claim and we met and we could talk and then I could take all of my knowledge and push it into your claim and help you to try to win? Could you imagine that? Like, that would be crazy. So, and VSOs, I don't have anything against. Yeah, like when you're an accredited claims agent, you have access to VBMS. So that is where my knowledge would get to shine, and like being an accredited claims agent, potentially, I could go to your higher level reviews for you and talk to the DRO and actually talk to them like a peer and just be like, hey man, come on now. Come on. You know 38 CFR 3.159. Come on, come on, come on. And I could do that stuff, right? So that's what I'm thinking. Now, the unfortunate part about it would be that the accredited claims agent, the way the VA set that up is it's a portion of your back pay. So there would be, I don't know if there'd be any upfront fees or anything like that. I haven't really, I've just put in my application. So I think that that would be it. Now, guys, if that is something that does happen in the future tense, I would likely promote that on the channel. It wouldn't be obnoxious. I hope you guys aren't offended by that. But if I did become an accredited claims agent or a VSO, I mean, so far the VSOs haven't reached out. Like, I've reached out to them and they don't care. Like, they do not want to talk to me. But oh man, I'm sorry. I'm very sick tonight. But so I think that that might be something in the future that could happen. So if it does happen, what does that mean for the channel, right? Nothing. You're still going to get the same videos, you're still going to get the same education, you're going to get the same information, right? The only thing that the accreditation would do is I would offer that to people if they wanted to. Like, if you didn't want to file your own paperwork, let me do it for you. Let me double check stuff at the front end and the back end. That would be what I would kind of do. So, yeah. But it would be interesting because, like, I would have for the accredited claims agent, like, some people diss on them a lot, but the dog in the fight is the accredited claims agent only gets paid if you win, right? So there's incentive there. So could you imagine the dog in that fight? I don't know. It's just fun, but but in the future, if you see something, um, if it like, and we're talking the future tense, right? Like, we're not talking in the here and now because I don't have accreditation. The application's been in, but um it's just something I want to prepare people for because I understand that some people might go, "Oh, look, he's selling out." And that's not it. It's honestly, it would be an honest day's wage, right? Like, it would be something that's sanctioned by the VA because you know, uh, there's a lot of different options to go with it. But as a VSO, I could only help so many people. And another thing, an MCM, maybe you can help with this. MCM, maybe you can help with this. But one of the VSOs that I was talking about, they did not want it to be a national thing. They wanted it to be a local thing. So, like, they didn't want to be receiving calls. So I had a talk with them and they were like, nah, you couldn't promote the VSO that you were going to and give out the number because we would be working too many claims that weren't in our jurisdiction. And I was like, are you serious about that? And it's kind of weird. Um, AI claim services? I don't know what that means. Well, okay. Like I said, it's a future tense thing, guys. So it would have to be in the future tense, and it would have to be something that you'll get an announcement. Trust me. It won't be obnoxious. I'll still do my own normal videos, but I think that we need more Like, I wanna be accredited, that's where the goal is, okay? But yeah, MCM, isn't that weird? That is very weird. Now, the only VSO that I haven't heard back from is the Wounded Warrior Project type thing. That's the only one that I'm kind of waiting on to see if that's something that might pan out, but if anything, um, yeah, if anything, that's kind of what we're looking at, like, moving forward. Now, if I became an accredited claims agent, what would that also mean? That would also mean that I would have still retain access to all of the critical information on the inside. So that would keep me relevant and it would keep me in the know. See, a part of the problem with a lot of the companies and whatnot is that some of them do not have anybody with any skill, like they've never worked the job before, which I'm not beating them up on. It's, some people can learn things and that's cool. But the problem is that they don't gain access to the internal documents a lot of the time. So, or the internal process. And that would help me to kind of retain that. I could still contact coaches and whatnot. I could wheel and deal. And I like that idea. I like the idea of being able to call up a coach and go, no, 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 that's not how that works. You know better. Come on now. Let's get this right, type stuff and fight like tooth and nail. um, and I see that like I'm not gonna hold it against Dr. Barr that he teamed up with Vetcom. Um, I'm not going to. Like, they're a medical provider, so, I mean, if they team up with somebody, they team up with somebody. That's on them, right? Because I wouldn't team up with them personally. Not Dr. Barr. I actually like Dr. Barr, but, I wouldn't team up with Vetcom, personally, not even if they paid me money. You couldn't pay me enough money to team up with them at this point in time, just because they're kind of, with that whole California law thing, they're kind of on the bad kid list, if you wanna call it that, but let me see here. So, I think I missed something. Okay, Disrobe Crown gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. GC Jarhead, I think redid their membership. Thank you very much. And then we've got Stefan. And I'm sorry, like my laptop is like 3 feet away from me, so it's really hard to read this, guys. So I apologize. These are not ideal conditions, so the video quality is not going to be great today. My VSO is incredible and would be very much interested in your assistance. How should I go about linking you two up? She's seen most of your videos, by the way. Oh, just give her my email. Just give her my email and just say, "Hey, look, I'm a VSO. Can I ask you a question?" And I'll answer it. So here's my email. Um, I'm trying to think. Actually, GC, can you do that? I can't type it out right now. Can either you or MCM potentially give out my email to Stefan, if you could, please? No rush, but let me see here. Are there any good questions in here? This is a good question. Based on what you said about now having to have better data, better information for claims now, those who are 100% PNT should feel grateful. I actually think that that's kind of true. Like, before 2026 was easy mode for getting your claims done. And that's not me fear mongering or anything like that. It has become more challenging to get certain claims adjudicated correctly, and the process isn't done adjusting. So the administration is currently kind of trying to figure out where it wants to be. And I mean, I saw that they rescinded that they wanted to rescind that amendment to 38 CFR 4.10. That's just one example of many different things that are kind of happening over time that have changed. Like the acute and transitory changes to the M21 manual, I'm about the only person well, there's a couple others. I think the CivDiv and Veterans Info Tap might have talked about it a little bit, but, like, there's a lot of different fundamental structural changes to the entire process that whenever they make those changes, it has this ripple effect on claims. So, yeah, it is definitely much harder these days to get your claim accurately adjudicated, in my opinion. Now, one VSO I reached out to return my call or email. Zero help in Central Florida where there is an abundance of veterans. I'm sorry to hear that. And in the future, if like if it does end up happening where that is a thing where I become an accredited claims agent or VSO or something like that, um, it's going to be something that I'm going to try to help as many veterans as I can. Um, I mean, it's the least everybody can do because this level of frustration right here, and I can tell that this is very frustrating that no VSOs will call you back. That's how the private providers, or I shouldn't say, that's how the claims companies, that's how they get the business that they get. They get it from lack of availability, or if there is availability, a lack of competency sometimes. Not all the time. Like, VSOs like MCM, very competent. We've got a lot of competent, like, it's hard to generalize that they're all bad or they're all good, but it comes down to skill, and that's one of the things that I hope improves, that we get more skilled individuals that are helping veterans with their claims, because a lot of the time, veterans aren't denied because the evidence isn't there. They're denied because the evidence wasn't presented in the best or appropriate way to get the veteran service connected, and it's very, very frustrating. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I'm gonna be skipping a lot of questions because I can only read the comments that come up, um, as they come up. So, I apologize if I missed your question. It's nothing personal, it's that I'm currently in a car with my laptop in the passenger seat facing me and my microphone on my steering wheel. So, it's a hot mess, to say the least. Um Raider, I'm rated 10% for rhinitis. Do you think I can claim sleep apnea secondary? I'm prescribed a CPAP. So the problem with this has to do with whether or not the CMP examiner will medically agree that rhinitis is the reason that you have sleep apnea. Or is it due to age? Is it due to weight? Is it due to whatever? You have to go with what the primary cause of your sleep apnea is. If you can get your private doctors to weigh in on this and say, "Yeah, I think it could be," then that'll help the examiners. Like, if your doctor believes it's due to rhinitis and they see you all the time, that does hold some weight and can sway them. So, that's something that you might wanna just look into. What is going on with the questions? Oh, they're just flowing by. It's so weird on my laptop. Um, it's not ideal in any way, shape, or form. That can be true. That can be true, but there's also a form that they could have filed for on your behalf, which I find odd that they would send you away. Uh, yes, I am banished to the car. Well, I'm banished to the car because of the my family member is currently recuperating after a major medical event, so I don't wanna be, like, talking loudly and disrupt their peace. So, we are going to endure, and we are going to, persevere through this. But, yeah, so I am been banished to the car. So, Raider, my evidence wasn't presented in the most effective way either, denied by Tara when I'm not sure I have a Tara memo. You would have a Tara memo. It's either gonna be positive or negative. I suggest going to a VSO and double checking what is on that memorandum. And see, that's another thing, guys. I hate to go back to this, but it's just something I'm kind of interested in. If I become accredited and I gain access to VBMS, if I do work your claim, I can read all of the evidence in there to include your memorandum, see what you're currently service connected for. I'll have the inside information. God, it's so exciting just even thinking about it. So if that's something that in the future I end up doing, it would be so awesome. But yeah, so I would go to the VSO, the real Sir Gemini, and I would go see what's on your memorandum and just see if there's any room for like adding to it. Like if they're missing considerable terra that could potentially be scientifically linked to your condition, then I would go with that. If the VA cut off an attorney's first page of a fee agreement by mistake and mistakenly paid the vet the attorney's fee, attorney rightfully put in appeal to the BVA to recoup. Attorney told vet not to worry. Yeah, that's fine. It's not on you. Like that's not your fault. So if they should recoup the money back from the actual VA and not from you, you do not have to give them any money, and you shouldn't have to give any money back to the VA itself because, it would cause a hardship on your side. So that hardship terminology is something that you might want to consider having, at the hip ready to go, in case they do try to get it back. But typically they don't. If they made the mistake, then they typically will pay for that mistake. Scrolling down, scrolling down. You make it sound really sad, but yes, I'm doing the retirement party in the car. It's I planned on doing it at home, obviously, but life happens, unfortunately. So, my family member, you got to do what you got to do. You got to be a good family member. Or VSO accredited process does not include VBMS training. Some of the organization do not include it. I took the initiative to get the trips training myself in VBMS access. See, and that's the funny part about me. I know that program so well. I know how to use the search algorithms. I know everything about it. So it's going to be a fun time for me because I can just I'm like a duck in water. I'm gonna be having fun with it in the future. I am sorry that that happened to you though, Randy. It is an all too common occurrence, which falls back on the VA's need to ramp up how much training they're giving VSOs, how much training they're giving to accredited agents. So that way they don't just set those individuals up for success, they set the veterans that they work with up for success. So, I'd rather have the VSO or whomever trained up to where they're worrying about sorting the evidence rather than trying to find it. I don't know. It's just me though. Just me. So high rater, how can a positive VA nexus be missed in development? It's not hard. If it's like not the first page of something, it can be missed relatively easily. Now, if in the first part of development they find that the medical nexus is insufficient for rating purposes and they send you for an exam, then that medical nexus wasn't missed. It was reviewed and deemed insufficient, which means it has no value in the rating process. And they probably won't even include it in the evidence section of the thing. Now, oftentimes where most medical nexus get missed are whenever you have you claim something secondary to something or you claim something direct, and then the examiner comes back with and says, hey, look, no, I don't agree that it's service connected due to so and so, but I think it is at least as likely as not caused by this other thing. What happens is raters will typically, there's a checkbox for which one of the medical opinions that the examiner gave, at least as likely as not, less likely than not. What typically happens is they'll mark less likely than not for how you claimed it, but then in that long explanation, they'll say, oh, but it is at least as likely as not caused by this other thing. Raters won't read that. They'll typically top sheet and look for the checkbox, glance at it and go, okay, yeah, that's what it says. And then they'll deny you, not fully reading that there was a positive medical opinion embedded within the denial medical opinion. It's weird. It can happen. And oh, I was gonna let you guys know, I've got a video that's coming out tomorrow for secondaries due to medical secondaries. So a lot of the um, a lot of the veterans, when that 4.10 kind of nonsense started happening, veterans started saying, "Well, wait a minute. If you're gonna review me for my medications, then I'm going to try to claim disabilities that are caused by as a side effect of the medication." I'm putting out a video tomorrow on that. So it's a long video. It's not like these short ones that I did. It's pre-recorded, so I might say some nonsense in there that isn't true or factual about 4.10 in the current here and now because I recorded it before I left. But it's there for you guys if you if you want to talk about side effect disabilities that are caused as side effects of medication for service connected disabilities. Veterans should already be claiming that, and I don't understand why they're not already doing that, so it kind of weirds me out a little bit, but, um so my husband got his sinusitis at 50%, rhinitis at 10%, IBS at 30%. Can you tell me why they have his decision date as 2/23/26, but it is continuously pursued? Okay, oftentimes what can happen with that, okay, so up front, it could be an error, like that they just misunderstood and they went with it because they didn't know any better. You got a newer rater, they didn't understand the continuous pursuit under 38 CFR 3.2501, or that particular fact pattern could be true, that decision date of 2/23/26 could be true if the the original claim didn't have a diagnosis for those things in it. If they said it was denied due to no diagnosis and you did a supplemental claim and presented a new diagnosis, that's a scenario in which that particular effective date would be true. It's based upon a terminology called the date the entitlement arose, and that falls under 38 CFR 3.2501 for supplemental claims. So it's likely, depending on the fact pattern, it could be an error, okay? And if it is an error, you can potentially do a higher level review and say, "Hey, look, this was diagnosed in 2018, 2017 or something, well before the first claim, so it should have been continuously pursued." Um, Most veteran agencies train their own VSOs, and therefore few are accredited or have access to VBMS, and that is a hot mess of truth right there. Yeah. Um, where can I find the Terra memorandum for 11 Bravo, 11 Mike? There's no okay. So the memorandum itself is 6 questions that are created by a VSR or a rater. So there's a template. And what happens is that the VSR and rater go down the questions and answer yes or no, yes or no, yes or no, and then list any chemicals. Like the sixth question is the actual, like, are there any MOS related, any teras or toxic exposures due to the job duties of the veterans MOS? So unfortunately, the Terra memorandum, you'd have to go to a VSO and have them look up and search your Terra memorandum and see what's on it. Now, another document that you should look at is your ILER report, ILER. So go to a VSO and double check those 2 things, and you will, that'll help you with that answer. Oh, I'm also gonna be doing some hearing. My videos starting, Tuesday and Wednesday are gonna be about, peripheral vestibular, and I think, Meniere's disease are going to be what they're gonna be topics on. Hearing exam told me that 1997 my right ear should have been service connected and didn't understand why. She told me all of my records and information VA or informing VA via DBQ. That will be interesting. Yeah, I agree. Let's see here. A DRO asked for a migraine medical opinion for secondary for the aggravation of tinnitus and sinusitis, and you received the independent medical opinion from the examiner. How would you proceed with it? Um, that's a very odd question, but I would be concerned about it because if the DRO, a secondary medical opinion or an aggravation medical opinion. So are they talking about 38 CFR 3.310A, or are they talking about the aggravation version of secondary, which is 38 CFR 3.310B? You don't want the aggravation version of it because they'd have to subtract the initial the what it was like beforehand versus what it's like now. They'd have to subtract those 2. So, I'd probably like, if it was a DRO, I'd probably just rate what was given to me. Because what you're talking about is you did a higher level review. The higher level review found a duty to assist error. They did they closed that claim, opened up an EP040 supplemental claim, and that new supplemental claim is working what the DRO told them to work. So they're getting that examination. The rater in this situation would just rate what's given to them. If it says that it's service connected, then they're going to grant it. If question 4A and 4B on the migraines equals that it should be 10, 30, 50%, then that's what the rater's going to do for the most part. There isn't much like that the rater can do to evaluate how the DRO did something because they're the senior person in this equation. I don't know if that helps. Let me scroll down here. Man, you guys are quick with the questions. Oops, it looks like I got a couple things here, so hold on. Mr. Ray. Hello, Rater. I submit a fully developed claim. VA wastes time by sending a developmental letter asking me if I have anything more evidence to submit. Why? Did you have someone other than yourself sign the form? That's oftentimes why they do it. If the attorney filed it, or if somebody other than the veteran signed it, sometimes they'll send out a 5103 notice. That's what you received, is a, hey, look, would you like to submit more evidence on behalf of this? That's oftentimes why you get that. It seems very weird, but it is a legal requirement. That's one of the reasons why I always say that even if you're going through an attorney or an accredited claims agent, you should sign, the veteran themselves should sign the form to prevent this from happening. Now, I'm not saying that this is the exact reason why Mr. Ray's thing got sent back, but it's one of the reasons why you should sign the form, because you don't want to delay your claim 30 days for no reason. You get back pay for that 30 days, but the anxiety that you get for those 30 days, I'd rather be paid 30 days less or something along those lines. So I hope that that helps, Mr. Ray. I had a Nexus put in and my file bounced to step 3 from 5, and they ordered an exam, then marked it no longer needed, and then requested a medical opinion. Any idea why? Yeah. The reason why they did that is because when you submitted, I'm going to say that you submitted a medical nexus on behalf of what you were claiming. Somebody, either the VSR or the rater, deemed it to be insufficient for rating purposes and kicked it back. So what happened is that the VSR said, this is fine, I'm sending this to the rater, and the rater went, nope, it doesn't pass the authenticity, credibility, and sufficiency review. At which point in time, they deferred the claim back to get a new medical opinion because yours was deemed insufficient for rating purposes. That's what it appears to be to me. It's just a guess. So congrats on retirement, my brother. Wish you and the family the best. Thank you. My CMP examiner said they didn't require a medical opinion or nexus. That's positive, right? Like thoughts. It's sinusitis, it's rhinitis. Okay, so sinusitis and rhinitis, if you served in Southwest Asia after 1991, those two conditions are presumptive for under 38 CFR 3.320. So they're not wrong if that fact pattern is true. So if that fact pattern is true, then yes, you don't need a medical opinion for that. And then finally, have a coffee on me. Congrats on retirement. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. You guys don't have to donate, but I appreciate it that you did. Thank you. Let me see here. I'm just gonna try to skip down here. How long have we been going? 36 minutes. I'm probably not gonna go longer than an hour, guys. I do apologize. Okay. I filed RLS secondary, restless leg syndrome secondary to GAD due to fluoxetine. The rater only asked the examiner for an opinion if RLS can be due to GAD, and the answered no. There is no mention of the meds. They did this to two other something. So what I would probably do in this situation is I'd probably do a higher level review and say that the medication wasn't considered, at which point in time the DRO, the decision review officer, will basically send it back for a duty to assist error, and you'll get a new examination. I'd probably do that. As long as your files are all good and everything, like all of your other ratings are good, you don't have anything that's sketchy, I'd probably do that. Director of Compensation signed off on extra scheduler and approved. RO ignored it and granted me 2 years earlier TDIU, which I argued as protected work environment, but still combined. Going to the BVA. Yeah, I'd go to the BVA because look, once that nonsense gets to that level where people are signing off at that highest stuff, you can't change their mind. So it's just insanity. So I would, yeah, you've got it squared away, my friend. You do. VA gave me a CPAP. That should be enough evidence for me to move forward. Mine is complicated with secondaries, and my only worry. There's something cutting off these comments. But yeah. Will that attorney back pay recoup appeal affect my 100%? No, it won't. That has nothing to do with it. That's a non-rating. Like that's an authorized or non-rating claim that has nothing to do with your 100% P&T. Thank you. Thank you for the support. Okay. 9 months and 12.2K subscribers. In case you're wondering why there are some haters out there on you, not even the Giants did that. I don't mind if people don't like me, right? I'm not so vain that I need everybody to like me. This is not an entertainment channel. I mean, contrary to popular belief, it's not an entertainment channel. This is meant to be a lifeline to those that don't have one. Like if you can do the claim yourself and you're organized and you understand how the system works, then this channel is probably not for you. But what this is for like earlier, whenever they said that, hey, look, I'm in Florida and the VSOs won't even answer my phone calls. Or I'm tired of getting this misinformation from some YouTubers. And I'm tired of having to try to pay, $1,000 up front to this claims company, and they can't even give me a resume as to why I should give them $1,000. Who's worked for the VA that works there? Nobody? Okay, then why am I going through you? What makes you different than anybody else? I don't know. It just weirds me out, man. But I don't mind it if people don't like me. Sometimes it does get under my how did my grandma used to say, gets under my craw. Whenever I have like a channel that pushes like fake stuff that's growing faster than me, that's a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. Those are entertainment. So entertainment's entertainment, like I can't, gosh, come on, computer. The entertainment stuff is it's fine when it's entertainment. Inner You Healing Ministries, congrats. Thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. You don't have to do that. Thank you for posting the TBI video, even though it isn't your area of expertise. We drew a raider who was reluctant to grant for the non-combat injury, but did so because of all the evidence was there. 100% PNT. Congrats, man. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. And I mean that sincerely. Like every time that I say that I'm happy for you guys, I'm happy because you got validated, right? There's something powerful about that. Whenever the VA validates that, hey, look, we did this to you and we're going to compensate you. And I don't know, like, I just know that whenever I personally got a couple of my ratings that I felt like, yes, it felt like I just finished, like crossed the finish line of a triathlon and I finally got the recognition. Not that that's what it was for, but it was just nice that they accepted responsibility, that they believed me. I don't Do any of you guys have that issue where it's like you feel like the VA doesn't believe you? And it bugs you, doesn't it? Like, it bugs me. Like, it does. It bugs me personally whenever that happens. It's happened to me beforehand. And I joke about that because I say I I went to work for the VBA just to help with my own claim. Hi, Raider. I have TDIU claim that is being evaluated for PTSD. An ACE CMP exam was ordered. That's not right. ACE should not be done for PTSD. So that's a questionable thing. Yeah, it's not allowed. Okay, so ACE cannot be done for a PTSD DBQ, but ACE can be done if they're just sending for a medical opinion about your economic impact assessment. So a scenario where they can get away with doing an ACE exam for a PTSD is if they recently did a PTSD DBQ, they can get away with doing an ACE exam for the economic impact assessment. But you're not wrong in that they cannot do an ACE exam on a PTSD DBQ where you're sitting before the examiner going, yes, I am sad. Yes, I am crazy, because I did say that one time in mine. But yeah, don't do that. They don't like it when you joke with them. I thought this wasn't allowed. Currently 70%. Yeah, okay. Spiritual Wrestler. I will say that the Spiritual Wrestler is the reason why this channel is currently created. If you I watched his videos and I could tell that he was a raider by the terminology that he used talking about the Terra memorandums. And so yeah, his channel is great. Thank you, sir. Okay, can a CMP examiner diagnose sinusitis and have it rated if I only claimed rhinitis? Yes. So there is I can't pull it up on this one, but if you go into the M21 manual and you type in sinusitis, there is a section of the manual under sinusitis that says that they're within the scope of each other. So if you claim rhinitis and the examiner finds sinusitis, the VA can rate you for sinusitis or vice versa, or rhinosinusitis. So there's a section of the manual that allows for it. So yes. Raider, you recommended higher level review a lot. Vera said expect 84 days and then maybe another 40 if a due to, yeah. There's no real shortcut. I try like, honestly, contrary to popular belief, I don't recommend higher level reviews a lot. I don't like to. I only do it in certain instances, but a higher level review should be reserved for when everything goes wrong with the VA. The VA did not follow their own process. It's like filing a grievance at a job that has a union, right? It's like saying, hey, look, you didn't follow your own process on this. I'm filing a grievance. In an ideal world, the VA should be doing things that are, they should be accurately assessing your claims to where a higher level review shouldn't be warranted. The problem is that the training has went straight into the garbage can for VSRs and raiders to the point that higher level reviews are all you got at this point in time, because I'm typically stunned by some of the behaviors that, go into effect by lack of training. Congratulations on got any cool plans? Just trying to become accredited. I got the application in, so it could take a year. Who knows? We'll see though. I'm really wanting to. Part 1. Hi Raider submitted supplemental claim with new private nexus and buddy statement addressing missing elements. Denied 10 days later, relying on prior CMP that did not review new evidence. Higher level review. If no new exam was ordered, yes, it could be a duty to assist error because you have new and relevant evidence that could potentially win over the claim. Now, it will depend on what elements were missing beforehand. Sometimes a buddy statement will not overrule a doctor when it comes to a diagnosis, right? Like if they medically say that there's not a diagnosis, then it takes another doctor to overrule that. But if it had to do with like element 2 for what's connected to service, like if it's direct service connection and you have buddy statements showing that, like, hey, look, I was there, I witnessed this, I observed this, even though there's no medical evidence I was there, then that should have gotten a new exam, to be quite honest with you. So, yes, please do like this live show if you could. It's raining where I'm at, so if you hear that little popping sound, that's rain in the car that I'm in. So I'm sorry. Gosh. I feel like I have gained such a growing confidence with this channel. However, it does appear there is almost confrontational relationship between me, soon to be retiree, and CMP exam, correct? I don't know about that. It's not confrontational. It's proving something. You have to think about it like like you got into a car accident and you're trying to prove that the other person, committed the crime. You need to bring evidence like the other person caused the accident. You need to prove that. Like it's not like going to your doctor at the CMP exam, like your normal care doctor. They're not like that. They're not meant to be your buddy. They have to be objective stewards of the information. Like you need to corroborate, like you have to have your signs and symptoms that you report, but those signs and symptoms have to be corroborated with evidence. A lot of the time, I do think veterans sometimes prematurely, before they have enough evidence to show, to basically convince the examiner that yes, this is caused by that. That can a lot of the times be the problem. So I get what you're saying though. Oh my gosh, I skipped all the way down. I skipped all the way down. I'm so sorry. Hold on. My computer's being weird. Okay, from an RVSR standpoint, how much probative weight do VA social worker comprehensive assessments carry compared to physician notes when evaluating SMCL? Okay, it's going to be an individual weight. Typically, social workers do not assess on that level. So they can document ADL limitations or restrictions. They can document that. But diagnosing it is outside of their wheelhouse because they are not a medical provider. So the causal relationship for SMCL, a social worker cannot make. They can observe the symptoms of it, but they cannot report the causal relationship. So if on the SMCL documents, if you're trying to use that, a social worker's comments as leverage, it will not hold weight. There is a drastically lower probative value to the causal relationship as to whether or not it can cause, like you can't shower. Is that because of this or that? Like that is a doctor's domain, nurse practitioner, qualified clinician, physician assistant type thing. So if you don't have one of those making it, the only exception to that might be for mental health. If you've got a licensed clinical social worker and they're making a statement based upon mental health restrictions, that has a little bit more probative value, to be quite honest with you. And this is an outstanding question, by the way. Outstanding. I'm going to go with a couple more of these right here. Hold on. Give me just a second. Are fee-based consultants in your future? Looking forward to being your first 1-hour call booking customer. Congrats. It would be like, go look up what an accredited claims agent would do, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward into in the future if I can. It's going to be in the future. It's not a today thing. It's not a tomorrow thing. But yeah, it's definitely something that I'm planning on trying to do. So that way I can legitimately help veterans more with access to VBMS, right? Like access to your actual records. Because if I'm like, not to toot my own horn, I'm not trying to be like that. I'm just saying, if I'm this good without your specific records, imagine if you had me at your back helping you with all that information at like using this big brain of mine, trying to figure out the best way to service connect you. It would be crazy. Sugar Daddy gifted 5 subs. Thank you so much, Sugar Daddy. You don't have to do that. Christopher, does 38 CFR 3.309A cardiovascular renal disease include hypertension? Yes, it does. Does it apply if my kidney was non-functional and removed 8 months after discharge? If your kidney, it possibly could. Yes, it possibly could, to be honest with you. The 1-year rule depends on when it was diagnosed, not when filed. So whenever the diagnosis of the conditions under 38 CFR 3.309A were diagnosed, if it was within 1 year of your release from active duty, right? Title 10 active duty, then that can fall within the guidelines. So yes, that's a very good question. First John, thank you so much. I didn't get a question here. If you have a question, let me know what it is, and I will try to get back with you. Oh, and one other thing, guys, is you on those like in the future, if I do the accredited claims agents thing, you'll be able to see me because I'll have to come to terms with that, but we'll have to be on camera. So, yeah, you'll get, that is another added benefit in the future to going with me, is that you'll probably be able to see what I look like. Yay. I have a face for radio. Face for radio. Never underestimate being heard. The first time I saw a provider and VSO, they didn't make me feel like I was lying and a burden. I literally cried, and no one believed that someone believes me, and I want to help. This includes you. Okay, cool. I mean, I don't want people to feel bad. Chris, congrats on retirement, Raider. Thank you for your videos and the education you share with the veteran community. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. I'm just going to run through these real quick because there's a lot of them. Thank you for all your help. I got my hubby to 70% so far because of you. Enjoy your retirement. Okay, thank you. Half coffee. I will let Luna know. She's more into the dog treats. Like she scoffs at the coffee. But no, guys, see, like this is the thing. If I could honestly tell the veteran community what the one thing that they could do to help themselves, it's not listening to me. It's not listening to so-and-so. It's not listening like, that's my guy. That's my guy. My guy's better than your guy. Nah. It has to do with the structure, how you structure your evidence. That's mostly what I teach people, is how to structure your evidence in a way that catches the eye of the rater, that catches the eye of the VSR, that conforms to the current practices of the VA. And that's a lot of the times you're dealing with the exact same evidence, right? I'm not telling you to go out and get a private DBQ that says something or another. It's that you just organize your evidence in a better way that's more manageable for the VA, and you'll see better outcomes oftentimes. It's very weird, but it's true. Congrats, Raider. Oh, wow. Holy no. Whoa. That's a lot. That's a lot. Okay. I filed for benign prostatic hyperplasia, 40%, after I saw your video, and I was service connected 2 weeks later via toxic exposure theory. Yeah, it's possible. I told you guys, like, and to be honest with you, benign prostatic hyperplasia normally, historically, was never ever granted. I mean, very, very rarely until Tara came along. So everybody all the veterans, like if you know a veteran that has benign prostatic hyperplasia and they filed their claim and were denied before 8/10 of 2022, it might be a good idea to have them revisit it, to be quite honest with you, because Terra is the possibility. Now, it's not a guarantee, right? Like you can't guarantee anything, but examiners are open-minded to rating something that historically has never been rated before in large volume. But congratulations, Jack. That's so awesome. Okay, Sugar Daddy. A mistake I see too many vets making, myself included, is approaching their claims as a medical process, not a legal process. Take the time to make certain you're building body of evidence. Good luck. Yes, and that's very true, but it's organization. And organization, like private DBQs oftentimes get denied or get deemed insufficient, not because of the medical evidence, right? It's almost never due to the medical evidence. It's almost due to how it is structured and organized. It doesn't meet an administrative requirement. Hence, it could have the cure for cancer in it and they wouldn't use it. So that's why it behooves you to get in there and do it right. At all, we will open the bidding $500. Do I hear 500? Oh gosh, you guys are crazy. I have an initial. Okay, actually, let me click on it. Sorry, guys, my computer is not doing well out here. I have an initial PTSD claim in and submitted all medical records from my VA contract community care psychologist. VBA wants a 4142. VSO notified them no outside records, no movement in 15 days. I'd give them the 4142, 4142A form, to be quite honest with you. Sometimes, like, the raters want to see the whole record. They just do. Even though you gave it to them, they want to double check. So I would just give it to them. H-Town Vet. H-Town Vet's one of my favorite content creators, to be quite honest with you. And can I tell you guys why? He reminds me of my grandfather. He does. Like, he honestly does. Like, he talks a lot like my grandfather. And it's what caught my. I never told him this, but it is true. Like, he's very, very down to earth, very, very approachable, very, very, like, just a kind, nice human being. Like, if you guys haven't, go over to H-Town Vet and watch a couple of his videos and give him a chance. I go over there. I'm on lives with him all the time. Go subscribe, like if you want to, but give him a shot. Congratulations, my man. Fair winds and following seas of your retirement. Thank you so much. Could you guys still? Oh, okay. Sorry, my computer's dying. So I wrote that weird. I meant that you made me feel heard and understood. I'm happy. I'm honestly happy. And that's one of the things that I wish that they would do a little bit more of, is listen, active listening. Like, it's truly a skill. I wish the VA would do it more, but they don't. From an RVSR perspective, what distinguishes precautionary fall risk from protection from hazards requiring regular aid and attendance when a medical alert device is prescribed? So, okay. From an RVSR perspective, you have to understand that the RVSR is going to decide whether or not aid and attendance is required. And the person deciding that doesn't have a medical background typically. So what they need is they need a doctor to say, hey, look, that's what it needs. That this veteran is not a fall risk for any other reason other than this medical condition right here. And as such, they require another human being to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G in the home. Luna's actually not here with me right now. She is at home, very upset. She is at home, very, very upset. Yeah, I'm trying to get back into some kind of therapy or something like that. Just for like, you know, to process what retirement looks like and to process what I'm gonna do. Because I'm not above, I like therapy. I love it. It's somewhere that I can go to kind of dump my problems on to somebody else to where my family doesn't have to have them. So I'm a big proponent of therapy. If you guys don't like it, that's fine. But I love it because it helps me to kind of unlock what's going on with me. Sometimes I get a little bit anxious, sometimes I get a little bit depressed, and I just love it. So I recommend it to everybody. Obviously, sometimes you don't get a therapist or a provider that meshes with you. You don't have to take care of myself. Self care is quite important also. Um, Let me see here. I filed for plantar fasciitis and got denied. I don't have plantar fasciitis. I meant to file for neuritis of my foot. Do I file a new claim or supplemental? You would file a new claim because they're different body systems. So if you filed a supplemental claim, then what would happen is they would say, "Hey, look, you were never denied for that," and then it would delay your claim by a lot. So I would just file on a 526EZ and say neuritis of the foot. Like you said, painful neuritis of the foot. Now, is benign prostatic hyperplasia enlarged prostate? Yes, that's what it is. The VA says it differently, like benign prostatic hypertrophy or hyperplasia. Those are the two different ways that it's described oftentimes, but it does mean enlargement of the prostate. Um, Thank you. No worries for you being late. Guys, I am gonna have to take off here in a minute. I'm planning on doing another live stream maybe Wednesday just to just to make up for this one. So I'll get to your guys' questions if I didn't mean it like that, Mr. Ray. I meant that he just has like it's nostalgic for me. Like he reminds me of my grandfather. Like just how he is. And that's not a lie. My grandfather was black. Yes. Like it's not a lie. Like um but it just he just reminds me. It's reminiscent. Thank you for the coffee fund. I appreciate it. Um the sick the cigarette plug adapter for the laptop. It's not that, it's the internet connection. Oh shoot. Can you guys hear me? I'm going to try to Can you guys hear me? Yeah, Mr. A, my grandfather was black. Yes. It's not a joke actually. I could show you a picture, but yes, my grandfather was black. Yes. Okay. So, in exit exam for service connected hearing loss, spoke about tinnitus and ringing in my ears, was within 1 year post service. Examiner notates it in the exam notes, but no action. Was 20 years ago. Is it a CUNE? Could be one. Yes, it is. If tinnitus was diagnosed within 1 year following your release from active duty, it can be granted under 38 CFR 3.309A. Yes, that is true. So it is possible. But guys, I'm gonna take off. I apologize, but I've put in an hour and 5 minutes, so I've got to go back to work with my family member. Um, I'm gonna try to stream on Wednesday just to make up for this, so that way you guys so more of my attention I'll be back in the studio by then, so I'll be able to be more attentive to your questions, okay? Uh, but let me know if you guys need anything. Did we put that email in the chat for the Jarhead, did we put that email in the chat for that VSO? I wanna make sure that it's in there for them. But yeah, if you could hit the like button, if you could, that would be great. Let me make sure that I didn't miss anybody's super chat, super comment. Yeah, I don't think I did. Okay. But yep, that's what it is. So if you're a VSO, you can check that out. I'll keep you guys updated if anything changes on my end for the accredited claims agent. We'll have a talk about that and then I will revisit it. I don't want the channel to become a I'm pushing you guys for my accredited claims agent thing whenever it happens, but I will definitely give it to you as an option. Same thing with the education thing. Whenever that goes through, you will know who I support in terms of who I'm educating. Because what it's going to be like, I'm just going to talk about this for a second before I go. What my kind of educational contract with the private DBQ providers are, I'm going to be on retainer with them, like a monthly retainer where they pay me monthly to answer questions for them, review things that need to be reviewed, like from a legal standpoint, as if I was filing, like to make sure that they're passing the authenticity, credibility, and sufficiency reviews. That's all it is. I'm never going to see your like stuff like medical names from them. I'm not going to see any PII or anything like that. It's truly just education to make sure that they're putting out a product that I can put my name to. So that's about all I got for you on this one, guys. I'd like, I mean, it would be cool to link up with him. But it'll be kind of challenging because once again, he's kind of I would say VetCom and myself are not getting along currently, is probably the best way to put that. And he's partnered with them, so there might be some pushback for him working with me. I don't know what that looks like, but if it is, that's cool. Like I'm not mad at him or anything like that. I'm not upset at him. The only thing that I have really against the only thing I really have against VetCom is what are they putting out and why do they not want veterans to be educated? It's very weird. They're a very weird company. I don't know. They just weird me out. But yeah, no, I don't have anything. Oh, well, more to come on that one, Jason. Maybe. The only thing I'll say is I have had a conversation with Dr. Sharma. So we don't know yet, but I'll put it out there whenever I'll put it out there whenever we, if it does go through, I'll put it out there and you guys will know. I'll post about it and talk about it. Anyway, guys, that's about all I got for you in this one. Raider out.